So let's get into it. The first aspect of our event, we're talking about money, mindset, and of course, movement. So today we're going to talk a little bit about money. Anybody out there love money? Drop it in the chat if you like money. Anything that you like about money, just put it in the chat. Give me some love out there. Let me know what you think about money. First thing you think about when you think of money, drop it in the chat. Yep. What do you think about when you think about money? Wealth. All right. Power, options. I love that. Yes, yes. That's right. Well, we're going to talk about that and how you can start building wealth at an early age, making more money. Drip. I love that. Travel. Good stuff. Yes, yes, indeed. Absolutely. Well, let's see how we can start building that career. There's a great one for sure. All right. Well, by dictionary definition, wealth in itself means an abundance of valuable possessions or money. You know, there's some synonyms here: affluence, prosperity, opulence, riches. These are all the physical aspects of wealth. Plentiful supply of a particular desirable thing. That's when we start talking a little bit more about outside of the cash aspect, what is true wealth. And so I want to talk to you today about 4 forms of wealth. And there's many others, but these are really important in our society. Obviously, having financial wealth is one aspect of it. Money, assets, possessions, things. In an American society and in many societies, having a financial capability to do things does improve your quality of life. Being able to put your family in a better neighborhood where your kids might play basketball, or if you're in a certain sport or something, being able to be in a certain neighborhood will give you more exposure so that that child can develop that particular skill set. So it does make a difference in that aspect. Being able to pay your bills and things like that. Obviously, that's important in life. But there's some other forms of wealth. Time. Having the freedom to do what you want to do and go as you please is a huge form of wealth. Many people are struggling. Grown-ups, your parents maybe, or grandparents, or uncles and aunts may be out there working 50, 60 hours a week so that they can make sure that you can have the things that you have, the clothes that you wear, the food that you eat, the home over your head. And so a lot of people are trading a lot of hours to be able to get money back, to build wealth. And some of them are trading hours and aren't necessarily getting back the financial return that is going to help them be the person that they want to be, or to be able to support the families that they have to support. So we talk about wealth as also having more time available to spend with your family and friends. And so we'll talk about how you can start leveraging your wealth to have more time, to have better health, being physically and mentally well-being, having the capacity to not be overstressed, not working too many hours to where your body's breaking down and you have nothing left to give to your family and friends. Those are definitely forms of wealth, having strong physical and mental well-being. And then status. Let's think about in your neighborhood, maybe there's a pastor or a speaker or a mentor in the neighborhood that has run businesses for a while, and this person or he or she has helped kids in the community. Maybe he's or she's paid for uniforms for a youth group or a team in the community. And that turns into reputational wealth, credibility, being able to walk down the street and be respected by your other neighbors and by your co-workers or even business owners in your community. That is a form of wealth too. To be able to say something or to even ask your community for something and know that they'll see you as somebody who's respectable and that you don't take advantage of people, that too is a form of wealth. So it's important that you know these various different aspects. So drop in the chat for me real quickly. What is one other form of wealth that you might could think of? What's another way that you can take an abundance of something and make it positive for you? Maybe there's, I can give you one, wealth, spiritual wealth. Having spiritual wealth, being somebody who's even keeled and positive. Relationships, I love that, Coach Ann. Thank you. Talent, all of these things, anytime you have an abundance of something, it is known as wealth. Having abundant health is also considered wealth. And energy, absolutely. Good stuff. So I thought it was so important that I even included it in one of the beginning pages of my book, that, being able to be successful, you have to claim these things. I thought it was important enough to put that concept in my book. And I want you all, we're going to do a quick exercise here. Everybody, in just a second, you can either stand or sit, but we're going to be doing a lot of little pop-ins here every few minutes where we can keep you engaged and keep your energy going. And so this first exercise is I am statements. And again, I'm going to stand up because I love to stand up when I'm making I am statements. And I would encourage you too to stand up with me. And when I say this, you can repeat it. You can either be on mute or not, but I want you to say it loud and proud. I am intelligent, right? I am happy. You got to claim this stuff. If you're going to be it, you got to claim it. I am healthy, right? That's right. I am beautiful. You got to claim it. Say it proud, loud. I am talented. I am confident. Be confident. That's right. I am strong. That's a lovely one right there. Being strong is powerful. I am successful, baby. I am successful. Claim it now. Even in high school, you already are successful. I am wealthy. Claim it loud and proud out there in your living room. I want your neighbors to be wondering what's going on in that house. I am fearless. I have no fear. And when I have fear, I walk through that fear. Say it loud and proud. I am a giver. I give. Givers are receivers. So you must be somebody that has a mentality of giving. I am a leader. Everybody on this thing is a leader right here. Everybody should be claiming to be a leader already. And I am a helper. I help people. I help my neighbors. I help my family members, my friends, my siblings, my classmates. And I am, this one we're going to say real loud, I am powerful. I am powerful, baby. Let's go. Every day, every morning, you should start your day out like this. I am statement. And that's how we're going to get this thing going. How you feeling out there? Unmute yourself. Let me know how you're feeling out there. Yeah, I love it. Show me what's going on. Show me some love. I love it. Get that energy going. That's right. That's right. Feeling good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Good stuff. All right. So now we are ready to get this party started officially. Let's go. All right. I love this. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys about the differences between being rich and being wealthy, because they are certainly not the same. Let's look at this little infographic for a minute here. So this guy on the left, he's spending top dollar, got the fly jacket, $800 jacket. He got the $400 boots on, $200 pants. This man is just killing it in the game. He's spending like what's that? $1,400 just on the gear. We don't even know what he spent on his glasses, right? But then the guy on the right, he might have went to the thrift store and got his jacket, washed it, made sure it wasn't tethered and ripped up, spent 25 bucks on his jacket. Pants, 45 bucks, and then he caught that sale, $40 on the shoes. So he's saving money. He's not blowing his money on clothes. And in this example, the guy on the left, he is negative $15,000 in the hole because he's always spending all his money on clothes and gear, things that have very little value to the world. They don't increase in value over time. They actually lose value in time, except for some of those Air Jordans I heard out there. You buy some Jordans, you might get them to appreciate meaning go up in value. But then the guy on the right, he chooses to get his money and put it in savings and invest. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here on the next few slides. But wealth is built because you're not worried about impressing other people with your money. You want to actually build something that continues to grow over time. You know, there's a lot of people out there that want to get those big NFL contracts, athletic contracts, maybe become a big actor or actress, maybe even become a huge success in some career. And that is a fabulous goal. But what doesn't always happen is you don't always get that big windfall of money in one lump sum. You don't always do something that instantly generates you $1 million check. So you kind of got to just work and save and let that money grow for you. So we'll show you what that looks like for the average person, okay? I love this. All right, so here's some examples of the differences between being rich and being wealthy. So on the left side, we call out some of the characteristics of being rich. Yeah, you make a lot of money, got a good lot of money, but you also feel like there's a need to impress other people. You know, you feel like your money does run out because you're constantly trying to spend to keep that image up that you are this wealthy person, or that you have to do this, or you want to spend for the best shoes because otherwise people won't think that you have money unless you're wearing those type of shoes. Who cares, right? The other one may also have large, very large bills because they want to drive the best car. So they go out and get a car note that's $800-900 a month, when they could be putting that money into a business, into some kind of savings. And they're usually quite wasteful with money. But again, on the outside, they look very rich and that they got a lot of money. The wealthy person, they build long-term money and investments. We call it passive income. They create systems and processes and businesses and investments that they don't have to keep working into. They've done an investment, they've done some initial work, and now that money continues to come in for them time over time. Examples of that would be like rental properties or stocks and bonds or electronic transfer funds and things that are investments. And I know a lot of this might be a little over your head, but that's why we're doing it. You should have been learning about this in the 7th grade or the 8th grade, because we are in basically in a financial world. So if you don't learn about finances and how you can manage those things, it puts us in a very bad spot. And some of the grown men on this call, we've all struggled right out of high school or things like that when we didn't have that proper guidance about money. So we want to teach you about how to build your money and how to make it work for you positively. And you don't have to be a butthole because you have money. You know, there's a negative connotation around people that have a lot of money, that they can be, you know, low integrity, they don't care for others, but that can be so far from the truth. There's a lot of people that use their money for good, donating to organizations to help people go to college and things like that. And so don't look at money as a negative thing. Look at it something as the more you get, the more you can help. Okay. So again, being able to be wealthy, you want to build systems that supply you with more. They create income for others. You want to be in a position where you can offer jobs to people. That's what wealth does. And if you understand how money works, it will also work just as hard as you do. So we'll talk about that on this slide. Saving and investing and wealth building just takes time, which is 100% of the reason why I wanted to do this presentation for you today, is so that at the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you already start understanding the concept that time is what is really your best factor. You have the ability to build money right now. At 17, most of you just responded, 71% of you said that you have a job or some form of income. Put that money to use, put that money in a form that can help you to grow that money larger. Let me let some of these other folks in. All right, we got some more people jumping in. Very good. I love it, love it, love it. Again, feel free to still send that link out to anybody else that you have out there that has been interested in joining this particular event. All right. Justin Hughes, thank you for joining us. Okay, so because you're at a young age, you have the ability to build wealth now. Even if you're only making a few dollars, a few $100s a month, you can still put some of that money away, especially if you're still at home. You want to take advantage of mom and dad or your whoever your particular guardian is taking care of the bills in the house. So I want to teach you about a concept here known as compound interest. Anybody know what the word compound means? Just compound by itself. Drop it in the chat if you know what the word compound means. Feel free to use Google. I don't care. That's fine. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat if you know what the word compound means. Anybody. Where some of my grown-ups at? Feel free to jump in there too. Compound. What is the word compound? Multiple parts. Multiple parts, he says. Good stuff. Another one coming in. Yes. Compound is basically growing, something that continues to grow. It compounds, it expands, something that expands. You can, I don't know, there's a bunch of things that compound. So I'm going to just talk about compounding interest. So the definition of compounding interest is interest paid both on the original amount of money that you might save, plus the interest is now making money on top of that money. So it's basically that money that you put, let's say you put $100 in the bank and you're able to make 10% interest. You just make $10 on that $100. Well, now you're also making interest on the $10 that you just earned. And so all of that is super important when you're starting to build wealth. You want your money to build money. So I'll give you an example of what that looks like here on the next slide. Something known as a rule of 72 that kind of gives you an example of how money doubles over time. So what the rule of 72 is, it is a form of compounding your interest. The rule says that to find the number of years required to double your money at a given interest rate, you must divide that interest rate into the number of 72. So here's the example. If you want to know how long it will take to double your money at 8%, divide that 8 into 72 and you'll get 9 years. So here's some very exact examples. Suppose you invested $100 and at a compound interest rate of 10%. The rule of 72 tells you that that money will double every 7 years approximately, because you've taken that, basically you've taken the dollar amount, or the interest rather, and divided it into the number of 72. So here's where it looks like in the real example. Balance is 100, 7 years later turns into $200 because of that interest rate of 10%. Okay, 14 years later, it turns into double of what it was at 7 years. So imagine if you added 3 zeros to this or 2 zeros to this, your money compounds every 7 years if you had a 10% interest rate in this. And I know this can be difficult math, but it is definitely something you want to learn more of. This is what it looks like on a bigger scale.
Hey, Vic, fun fact there. Fun fact.
Yes, sir.
Do you know who came up with the rule of 72?
I don't. Anybody out there know who came up with that rule? Anybody? Well, we got a giveaway for you.
Think of a very smart guy. The smartest guy you can think of.
Maybe Warren Buffett?
Even smarter.
Any guesses out there?
Albert Einstein. I'll give it away. It was Albert Einstein that came up with the rule of 72. Just a wow. Fun fact.
I'm gonna have to look into that one myself to find out what was he doing that made him even come up with that concept. But it is definitely something that investors rely upon heavily. All right, Albert Einstein. I'm glad you shared that, sir. Thank you, Coach. So here is a bigger scale example of what that looks like. Let's say you're 20 years old, and I know I got the number of $5,000 invested, but let's break that down. If you look over to your right, $5,000 per year is really $416.66 per month. Well, if you got a job making weekly money, that really is only $104.17 per week. Maybe you have a job where you can save that kind of money. Well, if you do, then you can put yourself in position to save $5,000 a year. So using an example, let me show you how powerful your age is for you right now versus compared to our age here. Let me let a couple people that are jumping in, get them in. Very good. And thank you, Frank. My assistant, Frank, is in here. Frank, if you should have controls, let me make sure that Frank is set up so he can help me bring people in when they jump in. You are now a co-host, my man. Thank you, sir. So keep an eye on that for me. So let me show you the power of you being young now versus the older guys out here. If we started investing at 40 versus you starting to invest at the age of 20. We're going to put the same $5,000 away every year for 10 straight years, just for 10 years. So at 20 years old, you put $5,000 away a year. By the time you're 30, you have physically put $89,886 in savings. That is a fabulous dollar amount of savings. Over here at 40 for 10 years, putting the same $5,000 a year away for 10 years. we also have saved $89,886. But let's say both the 30-year-old and now the 50-year-old stop investing their $5,000 a year. Let me show you what happens due to compound interest. Because the 30-year-old stopped and now their $89,886 is now earning interest. And in this example, I think we used a 5% interest rate. So compound interest allowed this person to spend the next 35 years, that $89,886 turned into $1.3 million, $1,328,990 to be exact, without putting any more money into that pot. But they also have 35 years to let that compound interest grow. Over here at 50, we only got 15 years worth of time. And so that $89,886 only turns into $431,754. So because the 20-year-old started, Chris started at 20 and Jeff started at 40, this guy, Chris, at the age of 65 is worth almost 3 times more than his counterpart, Jeff, is. So you see the power of saving money at an early age. Even though you didn't get a big basketball contract or something, you were still able to save over $1 million by the time you retired. And that is tremendous, tremendous, tremendous. Excellent opportunity. So I want to make sure you understand that concept, because the most valuable thing that you all have, even more so than all of your speakers here today, is the value of time. So anytime, even if you only make $500 a month, do yourself a favor and try to put up $100 somewhere in a savings account, even if it's $50. Just the power, the exercise of saving money, the discipline of saving money will make you a very wealthy person at an older age in life. All right, so right now, I want to take a quick second to do a quick exercise. T-Top, give us something, baby. We need to kind of get this blood flowing again. And during this time, I want everybody to, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. I want everybody to stand up wherever you are. Stand up, because we all about movement. We all about movement. Coach T, what you got for us, baby? Yes, get some jumping jacks in.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Let's go. Yeah. Get moving. Get your body moving. That's right.
Knowledge is the new money. Get you some.
Get that energy, baby. Good job. Good job. Looking good over there, Jordan. I see you. Looking good. Yeah. Good job, Frank. Hayward.
Knowledge is the new money. Get you some.
Knowledge is the new money, baby. I love it. Gotta get moving. Let's talk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Coach T. Yes, indeed. We're going to be coming over to you in a minute, man. I appreciate that. Don't it just feel good to move? Feel good to move. Yes, got to get moving. You know, we all in this virtual world now. We haven't been able to do as much as we like to in the crowds and all this stuff. Obviously, it's good to be socially responsible, but you got to keep moving. And so Coach T is going to be talking to us here after my presentation in a few minutes about how you too can make sure that you stay moving. Some great tips on that. So, all right, so let's keep moving here. We're going to come towards the end of my presentation. I'm going to bring up our next speaker in a moment, but I do want to talk to you about one more thing that's super, super, super important. Credit. Credit is super powerful, and I'm okay if you want to take screenshots or take a snapshot of this screen or anything. It's super, super important that you understand the power of credit. And before I even do that, real quickly, just in the chat, we have dropped the assessment. I would love for you all between now and probably the next 30 minutes to get this short assessment completed. It will help you when we get to our mindset phase of the presentation here in about the next 25, 30 minutes. So if you can copy that link that's in the chat, we would love for you to take that assessment. That thing is worth $80. They usually charge for this, but my execution coaches are offering that to you all for free today. And so it's definitely something you want to check out. So right now, I want to talk to you about credit because that has become, over the last 25 to 30 years, credit is just as important as having, $50,000 in the bank. Credit becomes your leverage or your power to be able to get money from people who have money. If you want to go to college, and get a special type of degree, certain times you're going to need to borrow money. And at a college age, they're not looking at your credit so much, but they may be looking at your mom or dad's credit if they're the ones that are applying for this student loan for you, or trying to get a vehicle purchased. If they don't have the cash to pay for a vehicle in cash, they're going to go out and use their credit score to be the determinant of whether or not they can get the money that they need to buy that car, to buy that house, to start that business. And so for all of you at this age, credit is only going to become more and more important over the next 5 to 10 years. So I want to talk to you about how you can master the credit building. We'll call it a game, but it's not a game because it really does have a direct impact on your personal finances. So when you're thinking about credit, the number one and most important thing for you to do is pay your bills on time. If you go out and borrow money from somebody, you must pay them on time. Think about it like this. If you have a classmate that you've run into in the break room or in the cafeteria, and one day they didn't have their $3 for a lunch meal. So they asked you, hey, can you loan me $3 so I can eat today? And you're a good person. You were raised with good parents, and they say, help somebody if you can. But you tell this person, look, man, I only got $6. I'll loan you these $3 for you to get lunch today. When can you give me the $3 back? Well, it's Monday. So they tell you on Friday, I will give you your $3 back. Well, you don't even think about it Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But then on Friday, you see them in that cafeteria and you approach them. You say, hey, how you doing today? You got my $3? And the person says, no, I can't give you your $3 today. Well, what happened? You said you're going to give it to me today. Oh, I'll give it to you next Friday. I promise. And then next Friday comes and they don't have it for you. Let's say the third Friday comes along and they come to you and say, hey, can I borrow $3 more from you? But they never paid you back the other $3. Give me in the chat whether or not you would loan them $3 more. I need to see answers from everybody. Would you loan this person another $3 or not? Frank says no. Elizabeth says no. Seeing absolutely no. No, I'm good. No. Well, that's exactly how credit works for grown-ups too. Businesses don't want to loan grown-ups money if they already see on your credit report that they weren't paying other people back the $3 that they borrowed in the cafeteria. So it's very important that you protect your credibility, your reputation in your credit score too. Pay your bills on time. If you borrow something, pay it back by the date that it's due, and that will help your score go up. And I'm going to show you an analogy of what these credit scores look like compared to what a report card looks like. Capacity, that's how much credit you are using. So you don't want to use too much credit. If you've been given a credit card, especially those of you that are going to college next year or maybe next semester, or maybe you just started college and they got that big booth that says, hey, get free credit. We'll give you a $500 credit card right here, right now. That's not free money. That is money that you're borrowing. So if you use it to buy pizza for everybody in your dorm, then you know you got a big bill that you need to pay back on time. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't charge more than $50 if they give you a $500 credit limit. Those are important factors.
They're setting you up for failure. I just had to mention that. That's the way they do. And don't think you're getting away with something because it's on your report. So as soon as you try to get more credit or get something else later on, they're gonna say, well, back in college, you didn't, pay back the $100. So we're not gonna give you any money.
Great point, sir. Thank you for sharing that. That's what happens. In college, because we're not taught these concepts in high school, by the time you get to college, getting free $500 on your first day on campus, it seems like you just hit the lotto, but you didn't. Because when you charge it, if you don't have the ability to pay that payment within 30 days, that now will show up on your credit, and it is going to bring your credit score down. So again, I'm not going to go through each concept, but paying your bills on time and not using too much credit is super important. And definitely this is what I would say you probably should take a picture of. If you're in high school right now, this is what you could compare your credit score to. If you're an A plus, you probably got a 740 credit score or higher. If you have an A, probably got a 700 or higher. A B, still pretty good, but you can do better, 660 to 699. And now when you get into that 581 zone to 659 credit score, that's where it's going to become tougher to get approval. And if you get approved for a loan, you're going to pay more money for the money that you borrow. So remember that. D, you probably not getting approved. And Fs don't do well anywhere, in school or in credit. So just remember that. All right. So 3 takeaways that I want you to remember from my presentation is, 1, determine what success looks like for you and then claim it. That's those I am statements. I am successful. I am powerful. I am intelligent. Claim that every day. 2, start building your wealth now. Time is your best asset to build wealth. And number 3, build and protect your credit score for you to build success in your life financially. Okay. And I'm Victor Vanico Johnson of Nico Don Projects. We want you to create your future self. This is how you can connect with me. Please take a screenshot. Feel free to share with your parents the QR code there if they want to get you involved with learning how to get real estate or even themselves into real estate investing or other financial tools that we have available.